So today was day one of the first night of Crisis on Earth X. This is the big 4-show crossover that happens every year now with the DCCW, DC TV shows, whatever you want to call them. This is the crossover, and we have had the first 2 episodes, that being Supergirl and for one night only Arrow. And this is going to be amazing. We've already seen the first 2 episodes now. I'm here to do my review on the first 2 episodes, and I'm absolutely blown away. So first off, guys, sorry if this is a bit jumbled and all over the place, and if I miss out some stuff. It's just there was so much to take in this episode that I may miss out some stuff, and I don't exactly remember the order that things happened. But I'll start off where the first episode started, where we see the Dark Arrow, which I believe that's his name, fighting Earth X Guardian. And this was amazing. I didn't expect Guardian to be in this crossover whatsoever, and we get to see him, and his mask actually comes off, and you see it is James Olsen. This is the Earth X James Olsen. A very unexpected but cool fight scene. I really liked it. And then we move over to the wedding reception, which is kind of a bit more of a funny, jokey scene. But there is one massive moment that happens here in which we get to see Oliver kind of propose to Felicity and then her reject it and say it very loudly so that everybody in the group, all the friends and family can hear her reject Oliver's marriage proposal. And this was like a very weird, kind of out of place, just Olicity forced scene that I didn't need, and it's just going to cause way more trouble. Now, after the wedding rehearsal, we actually see that Alex and Sarah actually get off with each other and they have a bit of a one-night stand. And this is obviously a fan moment people have wanted to see, because these are like the 2 biggest lesbian characters on the show. So to have them cross over and actually have a scene together like that was something the fans would actually want. And obviously we see the next morning kind of Sarah come in and do a few jokes, whereas Alex is feeling quite bad about it. It's just quite a funny scene, definitely one for fans. However, I cannot see this sticking whatsoever because of the different shows. Then we move into the wedding, in which we see a very mysterious character who we heard was cast a couple days ago go up to Barry, and she is talking about how this wedding's going to be great and things like that. She's very, very weird, and us fans have speculated that this character is actually Barry and Iris's daughter from the future, who is of course part of the Tornado Twins from the comics. Whether this is true or not, we obviously don't know at this point, but I feel that this plot point isn't going to be resolved in the crossover. This is definitely something going forward with The Flash. We then move into the part where Iris walks down the aisle and we get to hear the music of Melissa Benoist singing Running Home to You, which is the song that Barry actually used to propose to Iris in the musical crossover last season. And despite what you think about the musical crossover, I personally loved it as a fan of Glee. I thought it was amazing to hear Melissa sing again, and also to hear her sing that song in particular was an extremely special moment for fans. And she's just an amazing singer, Melissa, and it was just great to hear her again in this crossover. Then we see that Barry and Iris are taking their final steps before getting married, and then boom, this is where the big church fight scene happens. Nazis break in the door, and this is just the most insane action scene I think I've ever seen on the CW. I mean, everybody gets a moment to shine. We get so many awesome moments. We get to see Overgirl versus Supergirl. We get to see Green Arrow versus Dark Arrow. We get to see all these different fights. We get to see them take down Prometheus. We actually see them capture Prometheus. It was just an insane fight. We get to see Supergirl do the amazing clap too. And the episode ends where we get to see the 3 Reichman actually stand with each other. And this is actually really cool. We get to see Overgirl, Reverse Flash, and Dark Arrow. And we get to see their identities revealed. Now, we actually knew who they were going into this crossover because of this photo that was released right here. We get to see that Overgirl is Kara Danvers, and Dark Arrow is Oliver Queen. And then we get to see that the evil Earth X Flash is actually Harrison Wells. But the whole thing with Harrison Wells, I'll get onto that in just a second. So let's go through the Reichman one by one. For one, I'll start off with the Harrison Wells Flash. Now, it's actually revealed in episode 2 that this is actually Earth 1 Eobard Thawne, and then we get to see Earth X Oliver and Earth X Kara. But I think it's really interesting that this is Earth 1 Eobard Thawne, because one, how does it exist? How is he existing in this universe without Barry? Because we don't know what Barry's doing in this universe necessarily. We can kind of get an idea off the cartoon, but we still don't know. So the fact that this is Eobard Thawne is very weird. So we saw at the end of part 1 that they have actually captured the Earth X Prometheus, and it was revealed to be Tommy Merlin. Now, this was an insane reveal because us fans have wanted Colin Donnell to be back on one of these shows ever since he died back in season 1, and people theorized that Tommy Merlin was Prometheus back in season 5 of Arrow. So to see him actually under the mask of Prometheus this time was such a great moment for fans, and that scene between Stephen Amell and Colin Donnell was so riveting and amazing. Also, such a small little moment here, but I really love the scene when Barry and Supergirl just completely run off without Oliver, and he shows up about 20 minutes later, and he just has a massive go at them for leaving him behind. Really funny scene, and so real as well. Absolutely brilliant. So we get to see all of our characters face off against all of our heroes, and this was a really cool scene because this is where we really get the explanation of that the actual Earth X Flash is actually our Reverse Flash. So this is one thing you need to remember. This isn't Earth X Reverse Flash. This is Earth 1 Reverse Flash. This is the main villain of Season 1. Why he's taken up the form of Harrison Wells, again, I don't really know. I'm guessing it's just because of budgetary reasons, because they didn't want to get Matt Letcher, but it just makes no sense, really. It was then followed by a moment that has taken the internet by storm. We get to see Earth X Oliver Queen and Earth X Kara share a kiss, and you actually find out that they are married on this Earth, which is such a weird reality, but I kinda like it. And I see that this is actually getting a lot of shipping online now. I see a lot of people actually want this to happen. People are saying this is the real end game for Oliver. If this is true, I do kind of want to see it. I mean, it'd be a lot better than Olicity, so sure, I do kind of ship Super Arrow. We then get an awesome fight scene inside of Earth 1 Star Labs, where we get to see the Dark Arrow take on all the members of Team Arrow. We get to see Dinah Drake, aka Black Canary, come in for some action, followed by Renee Ramirez, aka Wild Dog, who shows up, who actually gets captured later on. And then he is finally followed by Mr. Curtis Holt, aka Mr. Terrific. And we get to see them go on 3-on-1 against the Dark Arrow after Heatwave and Killer Frost are kind of taken out. And this was really cool to see them arrive, and it's cool to have them in the crossover. And then finally we get the absolutely huge action scene at the end, where we get to see all of our heroes take on all the villains and big Nazis inside this massive warehouse. And it's just a really cool fight scene. It's not as impressive as anything that was in part 1. However, I really like to see all these characters together. You know, we get Oliver, Kara, Barry, Sarah, Alex, and also Firestorm. And it's really cool to see all of them just kicking ass together, as they do. And this scene's really cool, and it just teases of what's to come in the next 2 parts of the crossover tomorrow. So what did you guys think about part 1 and part 2 of the first Crisis on Earth X episodes? This is going to be such an exciting thing. I honestly already prefer this over last year's crossover, and I just think this is such an exciting experience to be a part of once again. Stay tuned tomorrow for my part 3 and part 4 reviews. I'll be doing it similar to this. And once again, sorry this was a bit jumbled up, but there's so much to take in from these 2 episodes. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.